What is up, my fellow jewelers? Today we're making an earring. Now, I have been seeing this earring on Pinterest a lot, and I was like, hey, let me try to make that earring, and I made it, and I was like, well, now I have to tell the world how to make it too, because it's so cool and they're so much fun. You want to see? You ready? You ready? Look at these earrings. They are so cute, and I see them everywhere, and now we can make them together. I am so excited. They are so stinking cute. Okay, so they're a little bit complicated. They're not as simple as my usual jewelry piece, but you will be so happy when you learn how to make it, and you'll be making so many of these. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe my channel and click that bell to get notifications. But you and me, let's get started. So this is what you're gonna need to make these cute earrings. You're going to need your tools. I have my round nose pliers, my long nose pliers, and my cutter tools. For the material, you will need 20 head pins, 2 shepherd hooks. You're gonna need chain. Now each chain is 1.5 inches or 1.5 inches, and there are 4 of them. You're gonna need 4 of these chains. Now the chain, can I just say, usually in my other videos, when I say cut chain, that they don't need to be the same length, it's okay if they're a bit different. These chain need to be exact same length or your earring is gonna be crooked. So you need 4 1.5 inch chain. Also your beads. Now these beads I got at Walmart, and I will put the link in the description below, not only for the beads, but for where you can get the chain as well. And so these beads, you are going to need 120 teal. You're going to need 72 purple, 72 blue, and 72 pink. And that sounds like a lot, but it really, there's so many of the beads in here that it really, you're not going to use a lot for just this one earring. I actually made an earring set already, and you can barely tell that I used any of the beads. So also, side note, you need to know that not all seed beads are alike. They are completely different, and be careful what seed beads you pick out. So if you look at this earring right here, it's a nice taper. It looks like the one that has 2 teal, 4 teal, like they're different length and everything. But then I tried to make the matching earring to that, and it's super wonky. I mean, I was not careful in the beads I picked out. And so the one that has 2 teal on it and the one that has 4 teal on it, they're exactly the same length, and it's just not a nice taper. And so you need to be careful what seed beads you pick when you are making this earring, because your earring will not look cute. It'll look kind of funky and stuff. And if it's your first time, who cares if it looks funky? You made it, girl. You made it, jeweler. Go ahead and make it. And so I just want to warn you that not all seed beads are the exact same size, and be careful what seed beads you pick out. You want the nice taper, and you don't want these looking the same and these looking different. Anyway, so just to warn you, you're gonna need to be careful what seed beads you pick out. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to show you what every one of these head pins have on it with the blue, purple, and pink. So you're going to need to do 4 blue. Put 4 blue on it. Make sure you pick the right size beads. You need to do 4 purple, and then you need to have 4 pink. So do you see this? Every single one of these guys have the exact same color of blue, purple, and pink. They all have 4 blue, 4 purple, 4 pink. That will not change throughout these head pins, okay, that you see here. What does change is the number of blue beads that are on each head pin. And so for the outer 2 head pins, I have 2 teal beads. And then for these head pins, I have 4 teal beads. And then the next one, 6 teal beads, 8 teal beads, and then 10 teal beads. Okay, so that's the only thing that's changing along here, is how many teal beads I put per head pin. Okay, so again, you're gonna need 2 of the head pins that have 2 teal beads, and then 2 head pins that have 4 teal beads, and then 2 head pins that have 6 teal beads, and then 2 head pins that have 8 teal beads, and then 1 head pin that has 10 beads. So let me show you how to do the head pin with 2 teal beads. So I'm gonna put 2 teal beads on it. Make sure you're picking about the same size, nothing too big, nothing too small. Sometimes they're super long, and sometimes they barely look like they're have any bead on it. I picked 2 teal beads on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut enough of it so there is not a lot of wire to make a loop with. The loops are gonna be super small, super, super tiny. See how tiny the wire is? If it's your first time, it may be hard for you to make a really small loop. Go ahead and make it bigger. So I am going to take my round nose pliers. I'm gonna bend it back at a 90-degree angle. Be careful because you could break your seed bead. If you do, just straighten out your wire and then put a new seed bead on. So what I'm gonna do is with my round nose pliers, I'm going to put the wire in between closest to the end of it. I'm gonna put it closest to the end. And then I'm going to curl around to make my loop. Now these loops are super tiny and you need them to be closed. You need these to be closed. And so I'm gonna use my long nose pliers just to make sure there's no gap. So that is my first head pin, and it has the 2 on it. And see how tiny the loop is? Your loops need to be small. If they're all different size, and it's going to change the tapering of your earring, and you want it to be pretty similar in size. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna make another one just like this that has 4, 4, 4, and 2 teal beads. But then you are going to make 2 head pins that have 4 teal beads on it along with the other beads, and then 6 teal beads, and then 2 with 8 teal beads, and then 2 with 10 teal beads. Okay, so go ahead and make all of those. Okay, so this is the last one. Okay, I was very picky about what seed beads I chose to make sure it tapered well, and I laid them side by side to make sure I saw that it was doing the right thing, and so I'm pretty happy with this. The next step we're gonna need to take is putting them on, all on a head pin, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a bead in between each one, a teal bead in between each one, and you're gonna start with a teal bead. Now again, make sure you're picky about what teal beads you're choosing and not just them being all different shapes and sizes, mainly different sizes. And so you're gonna start with a seed bead and make sure you like that seed bead. Make sure it's not too big, it's not too small. And you're gonna put your seed bead on, and then you're going to put your head pin on. I'm gonna put a seed bead on, then a head pin, then a seed bead, and I'm gonna keep going with that pattern. And so I'm gonna have a seed bead here, and then I'm gonna put my next head pin on, and I'm gonna keep going in that pattern. Okay, I'm putting on my last head pin, putting on my last one, and then I put on one more bead. You want the beads to be on both sides of the head pin. And so I have, that is my pattern, seed bead, head pin, seed bead, head pin, seed bead, head pin, and so on until I end with a seed bead. Now this part is a little bit tricky. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna want to make a little loop at the end of your head pin, all the way at the end. You don't have to cut it, don't cut yet. And so I am going to bend my wire. See, I need enough for a loop, a small loop. I'm gonna bend my wire back at a 90-degree angle, and then I'm going to loop it around. I wanna curl it around with my round nose pliers. I'm gonna loop it around, okay? So I have my loop. I'm gonna put all my head pins and push it as far to this loop as possible. And then I'm going to cut off enough to make another small loop on this side. So I have a decent amount of wire right here, and I'm going to cut off quite a bit. I want a small loop. So I'm gonna cut off, and then I'm going to, it doesn't matter which way you go, but bend your wire back at a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to make another loop, making sure I don't have any gap, making sure my headbands can't just go back and forth a lot. I don't want really much of a gap. So now, do you see how this loop is kind of not lined up with this loop? I'm going to take one of my pliers. I have my round nose pliers on this side, and I have my long nose pliers on this side, and I'm going to just kind of twist until they're facing the same way, until they're both facing up. See? So now I kind of twisted it for that. And now I get to put my wire on. Oh, this is great. Do you see the tapering? That is so nice. It's so good being picky with what seed beads you put on, because I totally messed up with one of the earrings I made and it looks so wonky. So now I'm gonna get my chain, right? I'm gonna put one chain here, I'm going to grab the other chain and just have it here ready. And I am going to slightly open one of these loops, just slightly. I'm going to slightly open one of these loops, and I'm going to put my chain. So one of the last links on the end of my chain, I'm going to put it through that loop. Yes, and then I'm going to close up this loop so there's no gap. I'm going to close it up. I'm going to even use my long nose pliers to make sure there is no gap. Okay, so I have my chain on here, and I'm gonna put my chain on this side as well, just like I did on this side. So now what I need to do is I need to put my shepherd's hook in there, and then we're finished. Love it, love it, love it. This earring takes forever to make, but can I tell you it's so worth it? So I opened up my loop on my shepherd's hook, right? And I'm gonna put both of my chain in that loop. So I'm gonna take one of my chain, the last link on it, and put it on my shepherd's hook. And then I'm going to take my other chain, the last link on it, put through my shepherd's hook, just like that. And then I am going to close it up. And there we have our earring. Oh! These are so cute. Oh my goodness. I want to make like a dozen of them in all different colors, all different styles. I wish I were wearing a shirt to go with the earrings today, but I can always change. I love it. Do you love it? Oh my goodness. I'd love for you to hear your comments. So comment below what you think of these earrings and tell me what your colors you're going to choose to make these earrings. And don't forget, I have a Facebook page. I will put the Facebook page in the description below, and send me pictures of your creation and I will share them with the world. I love to see your creation. I love celebrating with you. I love cheering you on, go, yes, make some more, make some more. So that is all I got for you guys today. Now, before I leave, you know I love praying for you. I love praying for my viewers. And as I was asking God, what do I pray for my viewers today? He just said, pray for their home life. Pray for what is going on in their homes where they live. And so I have no idea what's going on in your homes. I don't know. I'm going to pray for your husband or your kids or your roommate or you just being alone or your dog or your cat, your animal. But just if there's anything crazy going on in your home life, that God would totally remove that and just bring peace and joy into your home, so that when you come when you're coming home from work or when you're working from home, that it would just be very peaceful and not so chaotic. So Lord, I thank you that you care about our home life. I thank you that you care what goes on within the four walls of where we live. And so Lord, I pray for my viewers. I pray if they have a spouse, if they have kids, if they have a roommate, if they have pets, whatever the case may be, if there's something that's going on that shouldn't be, that you would stop it right now, that you give my viewers wisdom, God, that you bring whatever chaos out of it, and that their home would just be a peaceful place to live. God, that you would pour your peace in there, your love in there, that there be laughter in the home, and Lord, that you would just invade their home right now in Jesus' name. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in and doing these earrings with me. Make sure you check me on my next video. I do them about once a week, and until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye!